Okay. I've been waiting here for like 10 minutes and no one said anything, so I'm just gonna do my intro anyway. Though, I don't know if anyone's here to hear it. I'm gonna finish what I was doing earlier today. It's currently 2 a.m. where I am, so I don't necessarily expect a lot of activity. My streams seem to be pretty dead around 2 a.m. Like from past experience, my streams usually kind of die around 2 a.m. But, I mean, you never know. Time zones are a thing, so... And I have people who watch me, like, all over the world, it seems. So, you know, might get some people in here. We'll see. Okay, so... I may be kinda quiet until chat gets going, because I'll have nothing to say anyway. Until chat gets going, so, yeah. Alright. Okay. So... Am I still using the old... Yes. Well, not the old, but the new. I want to switch back to the old. D-right. 180 preview 2. Let's switch back to 179 because 180 makes everything just feel wrong. It just feels weird. I don't know what it is about 180, but even when I'm not, like, driving in gutters and stuff where it's most affected, even just generally driving, everything feels off. Like, it just feels wrong, and I don't really know why, but it feels wrong. It feels wrong. It feels wrong! Skins. Just going to refer to it as 11. With no further information, because... yeah. I want to change the engine to like a blacktop or something like that. What engines could I put in my 11? Let me see that 4AGE tuning webpage again. Yeah, this one. 4AGE. What if it was supercharged? I kind of want to go natural, though. $140 to $150 bhp. Research time, ha ha ha. 150 to 160. To 72-degree cams. Hmm. 180 to 190 HP. Serious power now. Things start getting expensive. Stock Conrod bolts are good until 180 ARP. 8500 RPM. .288 cams, an aftermarket computer, 10.51 compression, and a small amount of headwork done. It makes about 160 horsepower with a completely stock bottom end. It ran at 8500 RPM without any problems. Interesting. For a GZE. 300 to 400 HP. Ford AGE 20 valves. Kinda wanna go for a 16 valve. Alright, let's look at other ones. 170 to 180. The big port is the way to go. It could always just be detuned or have like a engine limiter, depending on the situation. Like a restrictor. 9,000 RPM. Damn. Rapidly destroying the bucket. Hideous expense. Merely large amounts of money. M GTE Super Engine. $220. Save yourself a lot of time and money and just pop out and buy a slightly used Formula Atlantic engine. Big boys territory. You need to run up to and in some cases beyond 10,000 RPM. Bro. 11,000 RPM for AGE. Isn't it possible to rev up to 15,000 RPM or something? I should make a 15,000 RPM for AGE. I should make a 15,000 RPM for AGE. I want to do that next. Like 350 HP or something, 280 HP. 15,000 RPM for AGE. If I make an 8.6 pack part 2, I'm definitely making a 15,000 RPM for AGE. I'm doing that. And I'd have to make a 15,000 RPM tachometer. Oh man, dude. A forged steel crank. Ten thousand RPM. I'd develop or maybe buy a set of pneumatic valve springs so I could run the engine to 15,000 RPM or more if possible. I want to look that up. Is that actually possible? 15,000 RPM for a GE. For a GE 16 valve 10,000 RPM. Techno Pro Spirits AE86. I want to see a 15k RPM. $15k RPM. 130, 230 horsepower. 10,000 RPM. You can build 4AGEs to rev up to around the 1400, 200 RPM threshold. 14,200 RPM threshold. With a lot of work in NAS 320-degree cams with I think 50mm the biggest lift I have heard of that at that duration. 12,000 RPM. 1,300,000 RPM. How's the sound? At 10,000 RPM. Ten thousand RPM. Aw, man, it's gone. The One Piece is real. Some are reaching 14K. I want to make a 15K RPM 86. Now, I want to make one. That's actually sick. This guy has engine models. That's awesome. The fucking Formula Atlantic 1.6 liter. That's crazy. I should put it in my 86 on Assetto. That's so badass. He has a black top. I could like just retexture it to a silver top and put it in my 86. And say, oh, that's so cool. 1.6 liter blue top. It is like pretty expensive model though, but like this is actually really cool. I would just I'd have to get an engine bay. 'Cause I'd have to get an engine bay to actually do anything with it. That's really, I'm gonna like send that link to resources. I want to decide on an engine before messing with the suspension. I think I'm gonna go for like 180 HP. Go back to that website. 180 HP. Maybe like 190 HP if anything, maybe, I don't know. I already have like 195, but I might make it like 180 instead. And like probably 8,500 RPM, maybe 9,000. Give me the input this in my, yeah, 193, but the different torque curve. Actually, let me get, I'm gonna get this one, actually. I'm gonna get this one and just make adjustments to it. Let's do 8,800 RPM. Yeah, let's do 8,800 RPM. 8,800 RPM. Idling of 1,000. Let's go for that. Peak at like 6,300. Probably. And I can just raise the overall numbers later. What does that look like? 186. I think I want to smoothen that out a little bit. Right around 6,000, 6,300. 152. That's a little more smooth, yeah. That should be interesting. 185. Wonder how it'll handle. 8,800 RPM engine. I'm gonna go for the sound from this car. I like that sound. Let me listen to it real quick. Oh yeah, that's a nice sound for it. It doesn't even go up to 14,000 RPM. The engine sound. It only goes up to like 11,000. It doesn't even go up that high. If I made a 15k RPM 8.6. When does it go death at? Like when? After 12,000 is the highest it goes. 12,000 RPM is the highest it goes. I'll probably make a 12,000 RPM 8.6 then. With this sound. It's so aggressive, I love it. 12,000 RPM 8.6. I want to make that. Like a Chireno Coupe or 11 Coupe or something, 12,000 RPM. Oh, that sounds so fucking radical. Yeah, I think I want to make a Chireno Coupe. I want to make some 8.6s that I didn't make in the original pack if I make a second one. Because I had 11 Coupe, I had like several hatch Chirenos. I'd probably make like some 11 hatches in Chireno Coupes in the second one. Yeah, I want to make a 12,000 RPM 8.6. I want to make a 15,000 RPM one. I should make 2 super high rev ones. Then maybe one with like a whole other engine. Like a swapped engine, like an SR20 or something, I don't know. But, yeah. Okay, so that seems good. I like that. Now let's try it out. And then I need to do some work on the, what's his name? Hey, Mickey Rodorov. I've never seen your name before on my channel. Hello, sir. I am building the cars right now, not doing the delivery time attack thing. So if you came for that, you'll have to wait. But that's okay. I don't think it'll be that much longer until I make at least a few attempts. I love this song. Now, is the pit button gonna work, is the question. Is my pit button gonna work? Is it gonna work? I don't think my wheel is even plugged in. I forgot for like the billionth time to plug my wheel in. Every time I forget. I unplug it when my PC starts, because if I leave it plugged in while it's starting, the wheel will spin itself like 3 times, so I just unplug it when I start my PC. And then I never remember to plug it back in when I actually start the game. I forget. Every single time. Every single time I forget. Every time. Then I have to rebind the pit button, because if I start the game without plugging the wheel in, the pit button breaks. It has to be plugged in from the time I open Content Manager, or the pit button doesn't work. And I have to rebind it. Which is pretty frequent. Okay, so this is my 11. Is the spoiler black? What the fuck is that on the body? What? What happened to the spoiler? It looked fine earlier. Let me guess, the texture. The texture is probably messed up or something. Ah, yes. Hold on. I think I need to get an empty PNG and put it on the spoiler texture to fix it. I think that's what's going on. That is probably what's going on. Yes. Now reopen it. So this is my 8800 RPM 11 for TNL team. I can't wait to give it a whirl, and then probably have to adjust the suspension because obvious reasons. The suspension just felt a little bit like loose and wobbly. I was trying to say lobbly and woos at the same time. I also need to adjust the tuning options. They're unlocked, but I'd like to have them be a bit more freely opened up. I'd like them to be a little bit more opened up. Alright. Oh yeah, it's still raining. It's not raining anymore though, I need to stop the rain. It's not raining anymore in real life outside, it's not raining anymore. So, yeah, it's dry now. It could still be a little bit wet or have like some puddles, but it's generally dry outside now, so. Alright, 8800 RPM. My chair, hang on, there we go. 8800 RPM with my Raleigh gearbox I need to fix. Ooh. TNL team, baby. Yeah, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. I love the way it feels too. That was too close. Shit. Pull it back around. We're cool, we're cool, we're cool. We're cool, we're cool. Try to get on the next one. That might have actually been 1 CM. Kind of felt like it. This thing feels really fast. a bit annoyed that the brakes are locking up, though. What can I do about that? Maybe adjust brake bias or the bump stops so there's more or less weight being put on the front? Or back, whichever tire is actually locking. I can hear it, but I don't know what tire it is. I think it might be the rear tires locking up. My lap time is ass, but I did crash. So, I mean, if I didn't crash like that, could have probably been a lot better. I'm happy with it. I like it a lot. Honestly, I like it a lot. Needs some, I feel like the rim size needs slight adjustments to it. And then, I think I'll leave the interior the same, but I also kind of want to get like those one aftermarket Recaro seats. The ones that aren't like full bucket seats, but are still more comfortable than like probably the default seats. I'll leave the hooks on the back, and then I obviously have the ducktail, which is for some reason way shinier than the rest of the car, even though it has the exact same, basically the same shader properties. I don't know. Let's just say that maybe it's painted differently. I don't know. And then I could add fog lights, but I don't know if I really even want them per se, because I never even really use them. And I kind of like the Levin without fog lights compared to with fog lights. I kind of like it more without them. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Feels good to drive, feels fast. Other than the brakes, though, the brakes are what's getting on my nerves. The brakes are locking on me when they really shouldn't be. I should be able to fully brake without issues. Like, I should be able to do that and not have to kind of hesitate with them, like be hesitant with them. I shouldn't really have to hesitate with my braking. That shouldn't be necessary. What's this distance? I'm curious to see. Hey, yo! 1cm for real? It wasn't really in a drift, but it was kind of in a slip angle. Now that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, hold on. CXCS. Just save that setup, I guess. I need to open up the option for gear sets and make some different gear set options. I want the car to be highly adjustable depending on like the course and such. So I want it to be highly adjustable. Yeah, maybe if I had a bit more front bias, it might not have issues with the tires locking. I feel like I like the differential. I could maybe unstiffen it a bit and just raise the dampers. Camber and toe. The tires are good. Though I could maybe make them 205 instead of 195 tire width. I wonder. Who the hell pinged me and why? Let me see what this is. something that's not important, as most pings tend to be. Most pings I get are wastes of my time. Oh well. Oh well. So let me think. What do I like about it? What do I don't like? Well, it feels pretty fast in terms of power. The suspension is what I want it to be almost, but it has a great balance between under and oversteer. It almost never understeers and almost never oversteers when I like don't want it to. So that's good. But it does feel a little bit wobbly sometimes. Like it kind of feels like the car's not that steady. Even though when I'm driving it, it feels like it's listening to me. It feels kind of bouncy. Like, how do I put this? How do I put this? I don't know. I'm gonna make these tuning numbers a little bigger. I'm gonna make the tuning numbers a little bit bigger. I would never set it to negative 300 degrees. Why do I even have the option to put it up that high? I would never set it that high. Or that low, I should say. Alright. So let me see. So let's open up the setup. I'm gonna give it more final gears, and I'm gonna make gear sets as well. But let's start with the suspension. Camber maximum, minimum, that's all fine. Let me... Didn't this thing have an Xtune file for it? I must have deleted it. Give me a second. So I can edit it with CarTuner, because it'll make it easier to edit the suspension thing if I just use CarTuner. Rather than doing it the manual hard way. Mainly because the formatting is messed up, and last time I messed with formatting that looked like that, I broke it completely. So I'd rather just not waste my time potentially breaking it completely by editing that formatting. So let's go through the files. Aerodynamics. Those are good. That's fine. AI. Analog instruments. I could give it a 9,000 RPM tachometer, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I mean, maybe, but... Should I? Like, if I made a retexture of the tachometer to be 9,000 RPM. I mean, I could retexture it to be 9,000 RPM. I could make a 9,000 RPM or make a 10,000 RPM, like, retexture. I could, technically. I could make a custom dash. I could. Maybe. But I don't know if I want to do that now. But I could make a custom dashboard. I very well could. I very well could. But later, probably. I could tonight, but probably later. Blurred objects. Brakes, front share, 69. 1000 handbrake torque. Car. I'm happy with the car. Like, this part, I'm happy with that. That's good. Driver 3D by default should be me. Drivetrain. Okay, drivetrain by default, I'm going to... I'll leave that as is, because when I add the gear sets and stuff, it'll basically make that unnecessary. Electronics, don't want any. Obviously not. Final RTO. I'm gonna just rename these to their actual, like, values. I'll make a bunch of them, just so I have a lot of customization option. I'll make, like, every 100th. Probably never gonna be using 3.0, but I'm including it anyway. You never know. I could. Some very short ratios for certain courses. I probably won't use most of those, but I just want to have all the options available for cars like this. This is a car I'd probably compete in for, like, my team. So, T&L team is mine, on the other hand. Is there a ratios.ini or no? I think I can have adjustable... Am I able to have, like, adjustable individual ratios and have a final drive and gear sets, or only gear sets? I don't know if I can have gear sets and individual tires. Nah, the length of the tires is 215. Could I use real tire names? I don't know. I'll call them Street 2000s. Okay, now for setup. Let's work on setup and make the options a lot more open. Let's make those camber numbers a little bit more realistic. How about 45 at most? I probably would never use more than 45 anyway, or even more than like 20 probably, but let's just do 45. Because that's a lot more realistic. Hardly. As for tow, probably no more than 200 on tow. I kind of doubt any more than 200 on tow. Dampers, bump, 120,000. I don't think I need... Yeah, I don't think I need 120 fucking thousand on bump. It doesn't even go that high. It goes to 1200 at most. I'll set that to probably like maybe 200 maximum. Probably 200 maximum. Step of 1. Just a bit more realistic numbers. Alright, spring rate. Minimum of 1, maximum of, how about 150? That's probably still extremely stiff and unrealistic, but who cares? We're gonna go for it. Minimum of 1, max of, I don't know, 1500. Step of 1 for good measure. I always like maximum precision. Wonder if this is gonna break anything. Like it did that one time. Bump stop, minimum of 1, maximum of, I don't know, 100 maybe? Is like it 1 to 100? Is that like the limit? Let's do 150 in step of 1. ARBs. Step of, I don't know, 50. Actually, no. Step of... would I really ever adjust it by 1 at a time? Let's do step of 10. Minimum of 0 for any roll bar. Maximum of, I don't know, 100,000 maybe. That's really stiff, but I mean, I could, you could maybe do that many. You never know. Diff power, diff coast, those are all obvious. Brake bias. Yeah. Okay, now I want my gear sets, so... Let me go to my 9AGE. That one I think had a bunch of gear sets. And I can always make more if I want to have more gear sets. Gear set. Use gear set. Gonna just erase the line of code for gears up here and move it down to the bottom. Default gear set, I think I want that to be like the stock gear set. Move this and make it gear set 6. And gear set 1 will be... Did I already have a stock one though? I do. Hold on. Then gear set 1 can be like, I don't know, a special TNL team. TNL ratio. Tokyo Knights doesn't make sense on there because it's not 1252. Then again, you could still do it. You can still do it. Let's make another set real quick. Gear set 7. Short ratio. Like for rally or just shorter tracks or something like that. Alright, that's a bunch of options. Now let's try it again. Then I can pretty soon work on Uni's Trueno. I am going to go and fix my... Also, hang on. I want to... Give me a second. Set that to 0. I'm gonna go and fix my driver model because I'm tired of it constantly bugging out. And I just don't have to deal with the errors anymore with how often I use my own model. I feel like I should probably just go ahead and fix it already. I should fix it already. Fix it already. Material template tongue. Can't even find template tongue. Template tongue. Do I even have the tongue texture in here? I don't. I don't even have the tongue texture. Give me one moment, please. No. Did I save my model in here? Oh, I'm stupid. Save it in driver. Silly motherfucker. Close the game. 3:18 a.m. Fuck. Why is this so late already, man? At least I'll see some people who are up in different time zones or just up at 5 a.m. for whatever reason. Okay, the error stopped. Awesome. This song goes hard. right. I want to fix those rims soon. T50 T and L ratio. It's just a stock ratio right now. I'm gonna adjust that ratio soon. I'm gonna adjust it. Alignment. Bump. They're all set to 200. Why? Are they just extremely high numbers? Are they just extremely high numbers? Extremely stiff rear suspension. Insanely stiff rear suspension. I might need to make those rebound numbers higher than I thought I'd need to. Interesting. Let's make them 1,000 then. Try 1,000. I thought 200 would be enough, but nah, I guess it's not like that. It needs to be 1,000 to fit within the confines. Okay. Might drive differently now because I adjusted some things. Give me one moment while I fix this. I want to go back to the jazz music. Where's the one song that I really like? This one. This is like one of my favorite songs from the entire game. This one. I'll need to update the preview soon also. XCS. Well, reset the default actually. 1,783, 1,000. Still too high? Still not high enough? I'm surprised. I thought that would be enough for sure. 2,500 then? Maybe just make it like 5,000. Let's just go for 5,000 on everything. I didn't think it would need to be that big. I should probably make the step higher then. Make the step like 10 or something. If the numbers really need to be like that big, I'd make the step 10. But I want it to be as tunable as possible. Might even add in like an engine limiter option. Or something like that. I could add that in. I just have to get the code for it. But yeah, like add an engine limiter option. Because then I could like let it over rev a little on purpose. It would be a dangerous maneuver, but if you needed to, you could over rev a little on purpose. Yeah, I think I want to add that. I want to add that. I want to add that. I know one of these like drift cars I has like an engine limiter option on it. Let me see. It's one of my very like first cars, like one of these. I think it's this one that has the option for an engine limiter. And any like what other stuff? ARBs, camber, dampers, generic, engine limiter, yes. Engine limiter. Brake bias, fuel. Diff power and coast, that's obvious. I just want all the options I can get. Because it would be nice to have like more tuning options for the car. Yeah, put it under generic in here so that the formatting will like work. position Y, 3, I guess. Max of, I don't know, 150, minimum of 1. So you could limit the engine on purpose. What other things have I noticed on cars? I think one of them had like a suspension travel amount option. Like how much it lets it travel, which I think is basically just bump stops though. Isn't that just bump stops? I think it's on Uni's Subaru. I think it's on Uni's Subaru. The option for that, like, suspension travel, like, amount of travel. Aerodynamics don't make sense. I could use these gear sets. To know if they're worth it though. But I could technically use them. DC, that's like all-wheel drive stuff. I don't need to worry about that. Tow, dampers, generic. I swear I thought one of these cars had the option to adjust how, like, much the suspension could travel. What car was it that let me do that? What car was it that let me adjust the amount of suspension travel? I don't remember what car it was where I could change that. Shit. What car let me change that? Was it this one, maybe? It could have maybe been this one. But I don't know. Packer range, yeah, travel range. Suspension advanced, let's get that option available on here. Generic, drivetrain, suspension. I'll put it below suspension, the suspension advanced thing. That should be interesting. Just extra options are nice. Brake bias, fuel, brake power, diff coast power, preload. Ratios, 6th ratio. Yeah. Alright, cool. Now let's check it out. I feel like it should be good at this point. And I can basically just copy the setup INI to Uni's car, because I kind of want to just almost make like a global setup INI that just unlocks all tuning options for any car. That would be kind of a cool, neat thing to have. Like a bunch of gear ratios and shit, and all the options for like alignment and such. Yeah, here we go. Now I can actually see all the numbers in a more readable format. Engine limiter. So at 100, oh shit. I think these numbers need to be higher. I think they need to be higher. Let's make them both 1,000. I'll make all of them 1,000. Cause, oh, that's preload, not suspension. 1 and 1,000. Because if they're at the maximum, then they're probably going outside the range it allows it to go, and so it just messes it up. Because it can't go any higher than the range it's specified to go. While I'm at it, I'm also going to see if I can fix the wheel fitment, because the wheels look like they're a little bit too far outside. Like they need to move in just a little bit. The wheels. Yeah, I'm gonna... like... move them both slightly inward and kind of just see if it looks better or worse. Because, yeah, the wheels look slightly out of fit. They look they look a little bit out of fit, like fitment. They just look a little bit weird. They look a little bit out of place to me. Like they look like they're slightly... They just look like they need to be further in there. Like they look kind of 1 millimeter. Why the hell is rear travel range 1 millimeter? That seems very strange. Maybe that's normal, but why would it be 1 millimeter? That just seems weird. Why would it be 1 millimeter travel range in the rear? Like, that makes no sense. I don't know. I might have to manually adjust that, we'll see. But, yeah. I just want the cars for TNL to be highly tunable and customizable. I want that for them. I should also make a passenger model for the car. That would be nice. To have the passenger. Okay, so it's very dark. It's not raining anymore. I gotta fix that already. I need to set the weather to be dry. Because it's not raining anymore. Yeah, the wheels are... I swear need to be further inside. They need to be further inside. Both of them. They just look off. Okay, yeah, set it to like scattered clouds, because that's what it actually feels like looked like outside. Was like scattered clouds is what it actually looked like. Rear wheels went a little bit too far inside. So I think it's front and rear is what these are, but I don't know for sure, so just to make it obvious which is which, I'm going to change both of these front ones and see if it messes up the front or rear wheel. Just to make it obvious which is which, because I don't remember. Then I'll actually fix it. Okay, it's clearly the front wheels. So it's front then rear. Alright. Understood. I think the front ones looked good, but looked a little bit out of place. So then the rear ones, let's make them like 0.008 or something if 0.01 is too much. Or maybe 0.009 might even work. But let's do 8 first and see how we feel about it. I'm gonna also just make it daytime for right now while I'm testing this, so I can more easily see it. Because at dark I have to like zoom in close to really see if it looks good, but in daytime I can just look at it and know instantly if it looks good or not, because it's actually like visible at a glance. Yeah. I think the radius is too small. Like the wheel kind of looks a little too small. It's not actually fitting to the tire. So I think I need to lower it a bit to make it bigger. Like, yeah, I think if I make it lower, then it should fit better. Yeah, decrease that slightly. Because I'm pretty sure a bigger number makes it smaller, not bigger. For whatever reason, I don't know why it could just be bigger number means bigger wheel, but code is code. Yeah, now it fits much better. Now there's no gap anymore. And the actual fitment looks great too, so that's good. Now the front wheel, let's look at the front wheel. I think I'm gonna move it outward very slightly on the front. So the front is Let's make that 0010 instead and see how it looks. Then I think I'll be just about happy with it. I think. I could do some adjustments like the tachometer and such, but is it really necessary to make it now? I mean, I could, but it might be a bit difficult because it's me making a custom tachometer, which isn't that hard to do per se, but still would be a bit annoying. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna make it 0.11. I'm gonna make it 0.11. Okay, and in terms of the actual wheels themselves, I feel like I could move them outward, like, because they're kind of tucked under in the fenders, I feel like. Especially the rear ones, like, I kind of want to move the wheels themselves, make them outward a bit more. Yeah, I kind of feel like they're a little bit in the fender. Left. Plus is left, minus is right. So if it's on the left going right, that means it's going outward. I'm gonna make the wheels definitely go out some. Let's do that, see if it looks better or worse. Better or worse is the question. Will it look better or worse? I can't wait to find out if I messed up the numbers or not, because I always do. I actually kind of want to move the front wheels back inward. They almost look a bit weird out that far, but at the same time they don't. Okay, I definitely fucked up the rear wheels. I can see I definitely fucked up the rear wheels. Also, the fitment is fucked up from here. I need to make them not as wide then. I need to not adjust the offset, but make them simply not as wide. Because they're good here, but not at the back. I have to fix that now. Fuck. Let's fix the wheel offsets though first. So rear right should be I guess negative instead, and then left to right is positive, but it's way too far outside. Let's make that like maybe a 2.5 instead. Yeah, how about a negative 2.5, and then the front I'll make like, how about like 0.7 instead. 0.07, or that might be 0.10 is what it was before, right? Let's make that 0.07. No, it'd be 0.07. At least I would think so. I would think so. Once I fix this, then I can go back to fixing the rims, which are too wide. Too wide. Because the fitment is good until you look behind the wheel, where the rims are like floating and don't look right at all, and look very bad and gay. They look gay and bad. I'm still kind of not liking it. Let me go back to about 18. It's the rear wheels looking like they're a bit too far out. The front ones look fine now, but the rear ones look like they're a little too far out, if I'm being honest with you. They're almost going beyond the fender, which I don't like how that looks. But yeah, the fitment here is totally wrong. It's too wide. And I don't know if I lower the width, is it gonna make it wider all around or only gonna like shrink it going from the back? Because if it's like that, I don't even need to adjust the offset. I just have to lower the width. But if it makes it like less wide, thinner, I guess would be the word, all around, then I'll have to adjust the offset and I'll have to fix the offset again. Okay, yeah, I think I'm happy with that now. I'm liking it, though it looks kind of like the height isn't like matching, which I kind of hate it when cars are like lowered down in the front but not the rear as well, and they look like offset. But if it's necessary to make it drive better, then it's a necessary evil, I guess. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine, I can let it go. Alright, let's adjust that width. So, let's raise up that number for width. And it should make it not as wide. And then, after I fix all of it, I shall drive it and adjust the suspension as necessary until I find that ideal setup. Then I will change the code so that the ideal setup is by default, and then the other setups I want, I can just make them with, what's his name, the in-game setup. It seems to have made it less wide in general, rather than specifically. So let's start with just fitting the rear wheels, and then I can fit the other ones. I think the rear wheels may need to be a bit wider, because after I fit them here, they might not fit behind anymore. Huh. Okay, rear only. Let's try making them 285 and have like how about like the default offset, like 0. They might fit perfectly if I just give them the right like width. I don't know. If I just give them the right width, they might fit perfectly. And not even need an offset. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that. I ain't holding my breath. I could probably go to Drift Track for this, but I guess I'm just gonna stay on Akina. Well, shit, look at that. Fits basically perfect already. Huh. That was easier than I'd thought it'd be. Well, that was easier than I'd thought it'd be. How about the front wheels? Can I do the same thing for the front wheels? Like, just get rid of the offset? And they might work. Like, just get rid of the offset for them and see if they'll fit. I may not even need to have the offset. Then I can finally get driving it. And start testing it, configuring it. We shall see. Yeah. They fit basically perfectly now. Well, that was easy. I didn't even need to mess with offsets. I could have just set the right width and it would have fit fine. It wasn't even necessary. Alright, so default setup. T&L ratio 54, 97, 118, 142, 169. I think this is like the default gearing, I don't know. Short ratio. This is like a rally autocross kind of ratio. It's very short ratioed. 2.5 for ATR T50 into. Let's just go for the completely default setup and give it a whirl. 8800 RPM. Why do the tires keep locking? These brakes really should be more dependable. I don't want the car to have 8.6 tune syndrome, where the brakes lock even in a straight line. I can brake at like 80% safely. I want that to be 100, not only 80. The brake torque is the same as the IDP first, so it's not like I made the brakes stronger, and because of that they're locking. It's just because the suspension probably can't handle it. Because I should be able to brake at full without locking, because they're the same tires and the same, like, same amount of power brakes, so I'm not sure why they're doing this. It's gotta be the brake bias and probably suspension as well. Because I think Takami's car has a 70% front bias, not a 69%, but even still, I'd be surprised if that's all it took to make it lock at 80% when it usually doesn't lock even at 100%. I wouldn't expect a 1% change in bias to make that radical of a change, of a difference. That seems kind of strange for it to do that. I am dying. I did that again. I have a tendency of crashing when I try to 1cm drift that corner, but not as much so the second one after this. It's interesting. I have a bad relationship with that corner, I guess. Not so much this one, but that one, oof. Not so friendly to me. Not as friendly with me. Horrible driving. But at the same time, I'm not really trying, so I don't think it's fair to say I'm bad when I'm not even really trying. I'm trying at like 50% right now, to be honest with you. I'm driving very chill, casually. The slip angle. That slip angle was wonderful. That was beautiful slip angle. That was slip angle, you can't convince me otherwise. Ow. $5.15. Okay. So, let me, let's do something. Let's unlock the engine limiter. What will it do? Holy shit. it will rev to 10,000, but I think the power will just die out after like 9,000 because I didn't program any power at that RPM range. Nah, it still accelerates a little bit, but it definitely slows down at that range, which I guess makes sense. It's not meant to be revved up that high. But if you really wanted to, I guess. Rev it up to past 12,000 RPM until the engine just goes deaf. It literally just cuts off and goes deaf after 12,000. Okay. So, what do I want changed? Because I honestly like it a lot as is. Engine limiter lower than normal. 8,000 RPM limit. I can lower the limiter. Now it doesn't even rev. About 95. 8,200 RPM. 90. 88. That's like 79 RPM, like the default red line. Why does it keep locking up on me? It's so weird. Kinda don't like it. The fact that it keeps locking. Might be because of like the suspension. Like if I lower the bump stops, it might allow it to travel more toward the back and hopefully fix some of that locking issue. I'm gonna raise my bias to 70 and unlimit those bump stops a bit and see if my hypothesis is correct. See if my hypothesis is correct. Because I should be able to brake at full force without issues. But I'm locking. Why am I locking? I shouldn't have any issues locking. Which tires are even locking, the rear or the front? I can't really see the tires locking up per se. Oh wait, is it the front? I think it's the front tires? Even in a straight line. I think it's the front tires locking up. So that means the bias is too much on the front then, not on the rear. Yeah, it's the front tires locking up. I thought it was the rear. No, the front tires are locking up. I was barely turning. Even in a straight line, it's locking up. That's not good. I want the brakes to be dependable, not to suck. Okay, then what do I need to do? What do I need to do? I need to have it be more, rearward bias, then let's do 68. I don't want to completely make it totally rearward because then it won't brake well. If it's like 60% rear, it'll not be very stable under braking, but... And plus then it might start making the rear tires lock, so... Limit the suspension travel. Let's do that. Let's make the bump stops like 75 or something. Limit the suspension travel a little more. Maybe loosen it as well. I'm gonna make this thing brake at full lock with very little or no locking. I want it to brake at full force with little to no locking. Like Takami's car should. Fuck. That's like the best part of Takami's car I loved about it was that it could brake at full force with no issues. It would never lock. It would almost never lock up when braking, so you could be very aggressive with it because the brakes were so dependable. That was like my favorite part about it. I'm sure it's the suspension and not the brakes or tires, because they're the same brakes and tires from Takami's car. So... I don't know. Let's make it like 60% rear bias or something. I'm just trying to figure it out. This is fun. Seems like the rear tires are locking. The rear tires are locking first. They're skidding first. They are definitely skidding first. So that means the rear tires are locking up. Now what if I make it 70% bias? Will the front tires start locking up instead? Is that what's gonna happen? Or will it still be the rear tires locking up? I want the answer. No? Unless I'm just being stupid. No, it is the front tires locking up first. I'm pretty damn sure. Yeah, the front tires are skidding first. The front tires are locking up. So then, what if I do like 65 or something bias? I'm trying to figure this out. It shouldn't lock. How is it locking up now? Is it like equal? Still the front tires, I think, are leaving skid marks first. Yeah. That's a damn shame. Fucking hell. Fuck. Well, ain't that about a bitch. Crappy brakes. That is my favorite thing on a car. Actually, it's probably the most hated thing that I can possibly think of on a car. There's literally nothing I hate more than brakes that lock at full pressure. Even if it's in a perfectly straight line, they still lock at full pressure. I fucking hate brakes that lock at full pressure. I actually hate them. Just to be certain about it, I think this was Takami's physics. Just to be certain of this, I'm going to switch it back to Takami's suspension and see if it still locks. Because it should not. It's gotta be the suspension, but what about it? I mean, shit, if nothing else, I'll just switch the suspension back to Takami's. Hell, I don't care. This is broken because I changed the car graphics offset, but that's fine. For simply testing it, I don't care. For simply testing it. No, it's locking up too. It's locking up too. Takami's suspension's also locking up. Huh? This is Takami's suspension, right? It's locking up exactly the same way. Is it the tires then? It should have the same tires as Takami's car, which doesn't have that problem. At least I don't think so, it shouldn't. I'll test it real quick just to be sure, but it shouldn't have that problem. I can brake it full lock on that car and it doesn't lock up on me. So, yeah, give me a second. Just to, I'm gonna confirm. Like, for absolute certainty, I'm gonna confirm. Let me make sure that the ABS and stuff is turned off, so it's fair. What the hell? Wait, I might know what it is. No, the temperature is 13°C. It's not too cold. The grip is optimum. What the hell? I break in this thing at full lock all the time and it doesn't lock on me. I'm actually confused. No. Let me try to drive it like I usually would. Like, let me actually be serious. Because if it locks up when I take the first corner, like I always take the first corner, then I'm gonna be really surprised. No? It didn't lock up at all. I braked at full at that first corner and it did not lock up on me. I just did it again and it did not lock up on me. I just did it again and it did not lock up on me. It took all those corners and I braked at 100%. It did not lock. Is it just because it's on a flat surface? Or like on an uphill? Maybe it's because it's on an uphill. Or something. Because this is more of a flat surface, but this right here is more downhill. When I get to this, it's more downhill. And it doesn't lock at all. Oh crap, my CPU is dying. Maybe it's because it's like slightly downhill is why it's not locking. Maybe that's why. Because yeah, it should have zero issues braking. Let me test my Levin again then. Let me test it again. While it still has Takami's suspension. Then I'll switch it back to the other suspension and see if it starts to lock. Because it seemed to be locking in general. Like even when I was just not even like, even when I wasn't just testing it, it was locking in general. So I wonder what it is. Yeah, let's take the first corner and see if it locks. at around the same speed. It locked up on me. You kidding? Okay, I want to be for sure. This is Takumi suspension, right? I'm gonna be 100% sure. I'm gonna go and copy the suspension, so that I'm 100% sure it is genuinely the same suspension, because maybe it had slight tweaks done to it that's making it lock. That, or it's the tires, which maybe they are different, but I thought they were the same. If they're not the same, I'll fix them, but yeah. They should have no issues with locking up. So weird. Seriously, so weird. I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. 215 width semi-slicks. Those are some wide-ass tires. I almost wonder if it's because it's wide that... Didn't I make Rebound? Or, well, no. This is Takumi's suspension, so obviously that's gonna not work. Yeah, this is Takumi's suspension. This is Takumi's suspension. This is definitely Takumi's suspension. Maybe it's because the setup... Like, wait. One other idea that might be causing it. Copy this setup as well, so that it really is using the exact same thing. Because the setup is there, it might also be affecting how the suspension is set up, which is making it lock. I know it's gotta be the suspension unless I really do just have, like, different tires. Which, I know the tires are a bit different, but I don't think they're worse. They should be better. So it should be even less likely that I'm having these issues with locking up. Rather than more likely. Like, what the hell? No, it's still doing it. It's still doing it. Fucking hell. Let's look at it. I do believe it is the front tires first. It is the front tires locking. So, shit. Ain't that something? Alright, I'm going to set it all back, and I'm going to instead simply change the tires to Takumi's car's tires and see what happens. Tires 1, die. That was accidentally the porn folder. Tires. Based. Basta. See what happens. I probably won't do any time attack deliveries until tomorrow, just because it's literally 4 AM. And I don't want to be awake until the sun rises. Not again. Not again. Semi-slick, street 90s. Yada yada. Okay, new tires. Are they any different? Any better? They're still locking on me. What the fuck? So it's not the tires either then. Then what the fuck is it? Oh, wait. Are the tires not fitted correctly? What? I thought they were. The front ones. Wait. No, you're kidding me. Oh, well, I know why. It's because the tires are different. These are different tires. Obviously. I'm stupid. These are not as wide as the other ones. The other ones are 215. These are 195. Undo, delete. Undo, rename. 215 semi-slick. Interesting that the date modified didn't update to... Or no. That is today. I thought it said 2022. No, it's 2023. The name of the file. Well then, what in God's name am I supposed to do about it? I gave it the same suspension and everything. Unless it's like the tire, the T-curve or something, like... I can't think of any reason, plus it should still be the same as Takami's anyway. Maybe it's like the amount of heat? I don't know. Let me look at the tires app. Like, let me watch the tires app while I'm doing this and see if it has anything to do with it. Because it possibly could. It could possibly have something to do with it. The tires. Hold on, tires. 25 PSI. Like if the temperature is different or something when I'm into this corner braking. $50, 16C, 26 PSI. I'm just gonna clip that so I can look back at it. Now let's do it with Takami's car. Now with Takami's car. It could be the speed, but I don't think it's the speed. It's really just the... I wish I could say I know, but I kinda can't. Can't really say that I do, honestly. 28 PSI. Is it because these are higher pressure? Is it because it's higher pressure? The other one said 25, this says 28. That could explain it. That could very well explain why. I think the pressure is too low on the other ones. Yeah, I think that might be it. Because my tires are already very close to locking. Like, they squeal a little bit. So I can make it 25? Yes. Boom, 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 boom. Now it's 25 PSI like the other car. Now let's see if it starts sucking. And now let's see if it starts locking. AKA sucking. I hate tires that lock. No, it's still not locking. Even at lower PSI. That didn't change anything. That didn't change anything. Huh. That literally did nothing. That did actually nothing. That did actually nothing. Then what's the secret? What's making this one not lock while the other one is? I don't get it. Is it the T curves? Like these things? Tire curve, road high? Like, is it something to do with this? I'm wondering if it is. Semi-slick's rear. Let's compare that to Takami's. Are they any different? Because I think they should be. They're identical. All these tire things are identical. Then, what the hell? Car. Total mass. Inertia. Maybe it's the CG location? But I already tested it. The suspension, which is the CG location, like the front bias or whatever, that didn't fix it. Like, it still kept locking even after that. That did not fix the problem. Because, yeah, the other one is more front biased, but that still didn't fix the problem. 1035. Now, this one is 1000. It actually weighs less, but it's locking on braking. It's locking on braking. Does Kato's 11 do that? Because I based it off the Stage 3 Kato 11. I wonder if her car also does this. If it also locks like that. Because these cars are pretty similar. Kato's 11 is just a bit more powerful, a bit lighter, a bit less RPM. Hers like 8,500, mine's 8,800. Let me see. Tires are 28. But they say 25, which is weird in the app. Are they 25 or 28? Like, what are they really? What are they really? Okay. Brake. They also lock. They also lock. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I can deal with it, I just would like to have more dependable brakes. If they're not perfect, then fine, I guess, but I would like to have dependable brakes. I'd like them to be better. Okay, so take my Levin out again, please. Take my Levin out again. Gonna do a little bit more testing, and I might figure out maybe what it is. I don't know, maybe I just have to give the tires a slight bit more grip on the front to make it stop locking. Just enough to make it stop locking, but not to the point that like the front is way grippier than the back and it just messes up the car's feeling completely or something. Because that wouldn't be cool. So, here we go. It locks. It totally locks. So now let's raise the pressure to 31 so that it's 28 in the app. Does that have anything to do with it? Does that fix it at all? In any way? In any way? No. That did nothing. Let's raise it by a lot more. Let's say 40 PSI. I want to see if raising PSI or lowering it even helps at all. Even if I take it to the extreme, will it help at all? Is all I want to know. Even if at the extreme, will it help? No. How about lower PSI? Like, way lower. Try 15. Try 15. Which is probably way too low for any good reason. The car feels bleh now. It feels numb. I think that just made it like 10 times worse. That just made it like 10 times worse. Okay, yeah. So, basically, the tires are not fixing it. Let's say that I like make the front suspension looser. Let's say I do that. Travel range. Maybe if I raised the travel range? Like for the rear especially? I don't know. Oh shit. Jesus Christ. That came out of fucking nowhere. That came out of fucking nowhere, seriously. That literally came out of nowhere. My god. Very sudden oversteer. And it still locks. And it still locks. I kinda don't know what to say at this point. To be completely honest with you. To be completely honest with you. What if I raise the bump stops? So that way less weight goes to the front, so there's less pressure on the front tires. And let more weight go toward the back. But then it might just make the rear locks break anyway. Like, it'll just make the rear brakes lock instead, and not an actual proper balance. I have to find, like, the perfect brake bias or whatever. Or just lower the brake's power, so that, like, 80% is 100%. I'm gonna double check the brakes, actually. They are the same brakes, aren't they? 1669. Takami's car is, let me see, 1470. Oh, the brakes are I thought that the brakes weren't stronger. I swear I thought the brakes were not stronger. Okay, let me see what I can do to make it more consistent. Let's try doing 15. I'm gonna gradually lower the brakes until they get reliable, but hopefully still better than Takami's. Like, stronger, but still not gonna lock the tires kinda stronger. Save it. Hang on, make sure that it actually applies that. I'll lower it, like, by 50 in steps until it stops locking up. I'll lower it by 50. Because, yeah, it's either lower the braking power or lower the, lower the, like brake. Lower the brake power or increase the tire's potential. Either one. Either one. Nope, those lock. For good measure, I should probably change the tire PSI to 31 so that it actually is 28 PSI like it says. Like, it should be 28 PSI, but it's not really 28 PSI. At least in the app it doesn't say it is, so I'm gonna just make it 31. It locks about 1500. Because I'd rather just make I don't want the car to be ridiculously overpowered. Like, I don't want it to be some OD car that goes godly fast or something. I just want it to be like a fun, balanced, fast car that's not ridiculously fast per se, but not slow and boring either. 25 PSI. Does it feel better or worse at 25 versus 28? I kind of feel like 25 actually feels better than 28, even though it should really be 28, not 25, but I feel like it feels better at lower pressure. No. To be honest though, it just barely doesn't lock at 1400, so 1400 might be like that perfect range. Like that perfect amount of braking power. It might be that perfect amount of braking power. Honestly, it might be. Because even if I brake at like 80% with the 1600 torque, it's basically just braking at 100% if I had 1400. There's not even much reason to do it, because I can never brake at full anywhere. So why even have that much torque if there's never a place I can brake at that range without locking up anyway? There's not really a point. And I still can't do it. And I still can't do it. Okay, 1400 it is then. This is the same as Takami's, so if it still locks up, then I'm not really sure what to do about that. If it still locks up, it has to be the suspension or the brake bias, which is 1% more toward the rear now. I could lower it below Takami's, like to 1300, but I don't feel like I should really do that. I feel like I should just make it, like, be able to do that in terms of suspension rather than, I don't know. If I still lock up, it could be the tire pressure or just the amount of speed that I'm braking at. Could be. It's still locking up. though, it felt like it took longer to lock up. Like, if I had braked it like 90% or something, it might have not done it. Like, if I had braked a little bit more. Okay, let's make it 31 PSI, so it's 28 for real. According to the tires app. Play 30 AM when I'm doing this. Still locking up. Let's do 1300. I'm gonna actually lower the amount of braking torque. Alternatively, I could just make the braking power in tuning less, like in the setup. I could just in-game change the power to like 90% instead of 95 or whatever. Because I don't know if I would even necessarily stop faster if I like braked it 80% with 1600 torque. Or if I could just make it 1300 but brake it full. Would it even matter? Would it even be different? That's almost good. Like, that's almost not locking. Let me do that one more time. At a slightly lower speed. Let's try a slightly lower speed and see if it affects it at all. How about at the next corner? Real quick, just to see. Just to see. Alright, I want to see how well I can stop with 1300 or whatever at max force at this first corner. It still locks though. I think it's actually locking in the rear now because it seems like it's oversteering when I lock rather than understeering when I lock. If I start oversteering when I lock, then it probably means that my rear tires are locking, not my front tires. Which is interesting. Okay, let's try making it 1250. Mainly just because it seems like it's just barely locking, so a slight 50 decrease might be enough, and I don't need a full 100 decrease. Then I'm gonna go back, when it finally brakes it full without locking, I'm gonna go back to 1600 and brake is like threshold brake and see if I stop as quickly. Or if I stop faster. I doubt I would stop slower. But I want to see if it's even necessary to like do that, or if I could just do this instead. Alright, let me see. I was locking very slightly there at 1250. Maybe I really do need it to be 1200 torque for the brakes to not lock at full pressure. Because I'm still locking. I am still locking under braking. I am still locking under braking. That's crazy. Make the brake power 95%. I'm gonna just adjust the brake power in game until it stops locking at full pressure, and then I'll figure out what I want to do from there. I'm just surprised. I am still locking. Okay, fuck it. I'm tired of this. 70% brake power. Just stop locking for the love of God. I just want to see what it's going to take. If it still locks at 70%, I will laugh. Taking so long to stop though. Yes, it stopped locking, but like, I was stopping so slowly. Try, I don't know, 85%. Until I find that perfect amount. And then I'm gonna compare that to 600 power torque with threshold braking and see what it does. That seemed to finally be good. 85%. Seemed like it's finally good. Which is, I don't know, maybe that's like 1,000 or 1,100. Let me actually figure that out. If it's 1250 right now, then I don't feel like doing the mathematical. 1,000. It's 1,000 braking torque. So to make it not lock, maybe 90% might not lock though. Cause didn't I do 95 at first? Let me try 90. Cause that would be 1,100, wouldn't it? Or would that be like 1050? I don't know. That locks if you brake for too long. But yeah, 90% is pretty much the maximum amount without locking, I think. Which would be... that would be 1125. So probably around 1,100 brake torque to not lock it at full force. Now, let's do 1,600 again. And I'm simply gonna brake as hard as I can without actually locking it. And see if I slow down about the same speed. I think I will slow down faster. But it does mean I have to actually, like, think about braking. And I can't just stomp on it like I like to do. I usually... most times I brake, I just stomp on it as hard as I can. In a straight line. Like, I don't always do that, but if I'm facing straight, I like to be able to simply stomp on the brake and not have to actually, like, pay attention to how much I'm pressing it. How much can I brake? Like, maybe 50% until it starts locking up on me? Is that how much it is? Like... not even like 60% that I'm locking up. What the f... You're kidding me. You are actually kidding me right now. It's around 60-50%. That's wow. That's... I think I'm stopping faster than with just 1,100 torque and full braking, but I'm not completely sure. I'm gonna keep doing it a bit longer to really see, but I'm not completely sure about it. It might be faster. That was, I think, 50%. Let me do it again, just to be sure. I'm trying to see just how hard can I brake without locking. How hard can I brake without locking? What is the most I can brake without locking? I think it's about like 50-55% or something. So let's do it at 55%. And how fast do I stop? Then I'll do it with like 1,100 brake torque and fully brake and see if it's like the same rate of slowdown. Or no. Yeah, I can only brake around 50-60-ish%. Like that is the threshold, that is the maximum. That is the most I can brake without locking. That is the maximum right there. A little bit more and those tires would start squealing, I can guarantee you. Just a little bit more and they'd probably start squealing on me. So, 60%. Think about it. Think about it. If our brake torque is 1600, 60% of 1600 is 960. That means that technically 960 should be our maximum brake torque. Theoretically. But I don't really believe that. I'm gonna make the brake torque 1200 and see. Will I stop as quickly? I am tuning this car to perfection, which is a lot more than I can say about the 8.6 pack that I released recently. I did not tune those cars in that much detail. I put effort into them mostly on appearance, not that much in physics. I am still locking even at 1200. 1100 it is. If I really have to make it 960, I will kind of laugh if I actually have to make it 960. I'd probably just make it 1000 rather than that extra 40. I doubt it would make much difference. The extra 40. Less. I kind of doubt it would even make a difference. Fully brake. Nah, the rate of slowdown is about the same as just 60% with 1600. It feels about the same. So 1100 brake torque is our amount. That was not pleasant. That was not nice. I'll have to brake sooner because I'm accelerating faster. So my usual braking point won't work because I'm slowing down at about the same rate, but I'm going into the corner faster because I'm accelerating more. So I think 1100 torque is what we want. I think that's what we want. Shit. That was more on me than anything. I mean, everything is technically on me, but I mean, come on. Don't gotta be so rude about it. That save. Oh crap. I was not facing totally straight when I braked right there. Oh yeah, that's the corner where you don't break it full, or you die. I forgot. Even in Takami's car, you don't break it 100% there or you die. Just the little crescent or something, I think. That little overcrest. Dear God, I am dying. Terrific understeer. What do I want to change about it? I'd have to think about that for a minute. What do I not like about it? Not a lot, I guess. There's not a lot that I don't like about it. So it's kind of like... I don't know. I guess the suspension is just kind of bouncy, is what I said earlier. I mean, there's some occasional understeer, but it doesn't feel like it's uncontrollable. Like, if I understeer, I can tell it's just because I messed the corner up, not that, you know, I did it like I usually would and it's still understeered. Like, it feels like it's expected when I understeer, not unexpected. So... I don't really know what to say about that. And then the oversteer is pretty much what I expect it to be also. So the suspension feels good, but it does kind of bob around a little bit, I feel like. And I wonder what I can do about that. I mean, I could always just give it Takami's suspension, but I also wanted the car to feel unique at the same time, so... that's not exactly an option. Maybe if I just decreased the stiffness like a wee bit, but not a lot, maybe by like, I don't know, 10 Newton meters. If I just decreased the stiffness a little bit, maybe lowered the rear some as well, I don't know, 520 height, lower it by like 100. That, and if I maybe made the anti-roll bar a bit stiffer. Could maybe lower the front as well. Maybe. There's also the travel range being 1 millimeter in the rear for some reason. Is it 5 a.m. yet? No, but it's about to be. I need to make it nighttime too. I never actually made it the real time. which is like almost 5 a.m. That's fine, I guess. Get these off my screen. Yeah, I kind of feel like there's maybe a bit too much body roll. Let me stiffen the rear some. I don't know about how much. Maybe not quite that much. How about like maybe 1800 anti-roll bar rear, and then like maybe 7500 front. It feels like it's kind of rolling too much, the body. Kind of what I'm feeling is maybe a bit too much body roll. I don't know how to describe it. Now it's understeering more though. I really do like the car, but I still feel like there's something wrong with it that I can't quite describe. Did I hit the end of the playlist? I hate when YouTube does that. It just randomly pauses it. Like, so what if I'm listening to music for like a few hours? Don't just pause my video randomly. Imagine you're like on a wood record pace around or something, listening to Eurobeat, and then all of a sudden music just stops and it throws you out of focus and you lose the wood record because your music got interrupted and it like made you lose focus because you were confused why it suddenly stopped playing. Or worse, if you need music to drive fast like some people do. I don't, but it does usually help me go faster, so if my song just suddenly stopped playing, I would probably be really mad about it. I'd be really mad about it. Kind of feel like there's maybe still too much body roll. Let me stiffen it a little bit more. A little bit more. 200 Nm. Just adjust it bit by bit. again. I just gotta brake sooner. I think I like it now. Like, I think it's starting to feel more like my car now. I'm liking it a lot more. Alright, I want to tune the gear ratio. I'm gonna make like a specific ratio just for Akina. I might start making like specific ratios for certain courses. TNL, T50 TNL ratio. 4.9. Yeah, how about that? This will be like the default ratio, but let's make a... That's fine. Shut up. Go to... Setup. And I'm gonna make an Haruna ratio. So, TNL T50 ratio. That's just the default ratio, isn't it? Yeah. So, let's copy this ratio. And I'll make some adjustments. I'm gonna make gear 2 a little bit longer. I don't know, like that. Gear 1 I think is good. Actually, I think I'll make that slightly longer as well, like just a pinch. Gear 3 I will make a pinch longer. Gear 4 is good. Gear 5 I'll make a little bit longer. How about 0.95? And I'll call it TNL Yacion ratio. Oh, and so what did they change? Bias is still 69. I think I changed. Let me see everything that I changed and make sure that it matches the suspension. Go to suspensions. Alright. Front of 7704. Rear of exactly 2000. Basey. I think basey is what decides height. But I don't know exactly what that is in like what 440 is in that amount. But let me see. Yeah, isn't basey height, I think? Track I'm pretty sure is like the how far out it goes. Spring rate of 50,000. That's like my favorite jingle. Rear rate of... Wait, what is this? Is that for the rear? Hang on, I'm confused. Front. Is that also for the front? It didn't say rear yet. No, this is rear. Then what is this? Oh, that's the bump stop. I didn't even read it. I'm stupid. That's the bump stop. Which is supposed to be 56. Yes. Suspension travel, bump stop travel. I don't think I touched the dampers at all. Don't think I did. Yeah, I left the dampers alone. I didn't even touch them. So then rear suspension is, let's see, 35,000. Bump stops to 58. And where is axle? Okay, so what's gonna adjust the height though? I think it's basey, but what would 520 and 440 be in basey? Let me just make that like 180 instead and see what it does until I can get this to match with wall being the default setup and not having to use the setup. My voice is starting to hurt. I've talked too much today. It's still daytime. I have to fix that later. Suspension 620, 620, 440. I don't think changing basey did anything. Negative 190. Rod length? Is it rod length? This is dampers. This is bump stops. This is spring rate. These are all comments. Those aren't even actually part of the code. Those are just comments. Could probably delete a lot of these comments because I literally don't care about them. They're useless to me. X, Y, Z. So, would it be Y or Z that lowers the height? I'm sure it's not X, but is Y up and down or is Z up and down? X is never up and down, but... I'll try messing with this one first. Let's make 93 a 53 and see if the height number changes on the rear. Until it is 520 was the number? 520? That didn't do shit. That did nothing. Maybe it's this one then. 82. I will figure it out eventually. Then I'm gonna actually make an attempt at driving it, like genuinely, and see how it handles. And also test out the ratio. TLDNLESU ratio. 179 could maybe be a bit shorter. I don't think I'm gonna reach 179. I mean, maybe I might, but... well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll test it and see if it's any good. I might make that like 172 or 3 or something. That didn't do shit either. That was 82, right? I think so. That didn't do shit. Then, what is affecting the height? What raises the height? I would assume the rod length. That's probably what the height is. Maybe it's actually the first number. Well, yeah, it probably is because 62, 620. It probably is. Hang on, make that 52 and see if it goes to 520. How did I not make that connection sooner? Seriously, how did I not make that connection sooner? Also, this is commented because there's a semicolon. I am actually dumb. I am actually dumb. Yeah. Yep. I am actually dumb. What was the front height? I forgot. It was still 440. So does it match now? Does it match now? 35. Also, this one has like a different adjustment range. 150, 1500. Oh. The RR wheel rate is accidentally set to a 1500 maximum. Hang on a second, let me fix that. Whoopsie. Wheel rate RF. No, RR. That had one extra zero. If it would... There we go. Stupid input lag. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I think like since I got CamTool, it's had like that lag, like input lag. I think is what caused it. So how are you guys tonight? Cause I'm tired and about to sleep pretty soon. Delivery time attack will have to wait till tomorrow. I mean, I'll do one delivery, but that's gonna be only one. And that's because I've got to do it. Regardless. Like, I need to do that simply because, well, I need to do that. Regardless. I might adjust that ducktail a little bit later. Why is there a black polygon? What is that black polygon? That little black polygon. It's object 22 clipping through ever so slightly. I'd fix it, but I don't care right now. I don't care. It's barely even visible. So 50, 44, 56, 35, 520, 58, 7704, 2000. Yes, it is all correct. It is all correct. Alright, let's bust out the T&L Yasion ratio and see if it actually is effective. I'm gonna listen to this one song that I really like. Too loud. Way too loud. Way too loud. A little late. I feel like the brakes are not that effective. Alright, let's see how the ratio works out here. We'll actually hit 179. No. Alright, let me make adjustments. Let me make adjustments to the ratio. I want the max speed of that gear to be like 173 or something. So let's make that like maybe 135. And then gear 2, make that like, I don't know, a little bit shorter. I'm also gonna make the first gear a little bit shorter. Just a little, wee little bit. Just a wee little bit. Maybe I should have it be 1600 torque and just brake better, and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know how to feel about it. 173, that's perfect. That's exactly what I said I wanted it to be, so I'm glad it actually worked out. 122, 142, 95, 55. Okay. Please make it nighttime. I keep forgetting to set it to nighttime in the actual content manager. Because I'm dumb. I am dumb. I changed my mind. I want to make first gear longer. Because I feel like I'm drifting too much when I downshift to first through the hairpins. Like I'm drifting too much when I downshift. I'm trying to actually drive serious now, and I'm drifting way too much when I downshift to first. I'm gonna make it like maybe 62 or something, final gear ratio for first gear. 62 or something around that. Okay, I want to just fix it now before I forget for the millionth time. Set it to 3:58. It's 5 a.m. But I'll set it to 3:58. Also, it's 5 a.m. The sun will be rising pretty soon, and I'm still making this car. You know, I didn't expect it to take this long. I haven't even started on Uni's car. Son of a bitch. It is too goddamn bright. It's 3:58 and it's like the sky is just so bright for being 3:58. It's 3:58 here, it's still completely pitch black outside. There's no blue in the sky yet. Not that quickly. Silly goober. Goober I want the beat drop to hit when I enter the first corner. I didn't even set the right ratio, I don't think. Oh! The exit sucked, but the actual drift felt very cool. Hold on, set the right ratio. Set the right ratio. Now it's 57, that's probably still too short, but let's just give it a whirl. Let's just try it. Just go with it. Go with it. Still too long. Let's try 3,530. How about 3,570? And to compensate, I'll make second gear a teeny bit longer too. Wonder if I could even take the first corner in second gear potentially. If I make second gear a little bit longer, if I could maybe take second gear, take first corner in second gear. Maybe. You never know. It is 2:55. That's not long enough. Oh, I made the number higher. I'm stupid. I need to make the number lower, not higher. I'm being dumb. How about just make it 2.00? Make first gear like maybe 99 or something, or 98, and then second gear 98 or 99, and first gear like 65 maybe. 65 might finally be like a pretty good speed. I don't know. Although at the same time, if I make it too long, then I might not exit out of hairpins very well. How about we go for like, I don't know, maybe 63 in terms of like the first gear max speed? Try 63, and if not, then I can try 65 instead maybe. I could try 65 instead. Apparently I've got 2 likes. People have been here, but have just not said a single goddamn thing. Which is sad, because chat interaction is one of my favorite parts of YouTube. 61? Okay, close enough. Let's try it. Close enough. It's not dark enough. There you go. That's actually dark. Thank you. Unplug my headset now, please. I've had enough of it. Ah, shit. No! That first corner felt very nice, though. That was a nice feeling, first hairpin. Well, not first hairpin, but first corner. First hairpin was a mess. In all seriousness. Yeah, let me go again. Go again, please. Go again, please. A bit too much. It feels like it's not quite enough drift. Let's find out for sure on the second hairpin. And that needs a little bit more drift. I love this car now. Shit, fuck hell. I love how powerful it feels, but still controllable. I really like it. I feel like a good run could be in the 450 sub territory, maybe. I wonder. It just feels very good. So far, it feels good. Alright, let's go a little bit shorter. How about maybe 58 top speed? And make the second gear-ish a little bit longer. I would like to be able to, like, get to the next corner at that 1S curve without having to shift into third. Like, I could simply stay in second and could make it. I would like to be able to make it to that corner without having to shift into third. I would really like to be able to do that. That would make me very happy. But I also don't want to completely kill second gear as, like, you know, as a, like, general purpose, like second gear. 59 and 99. Okay. Let's see what that can do. Now the V-drop's gonna come too soon. I messed that up completely, oh well. Stop messing up this corner, please. Let me try it again. Give me a second. That felt like not a very good comparison. Need to drive about the same to make an actually fair comparison for when I switch stuff with the suspension. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of drift when I shift down to first into a hairpin. That was a pretty good amount of drift. Maybe slightly more, but around that amount. Yeah, I could maybe go with a teeny bit more. Maybe like make it 58 instead of 59 max speed. In terms of like the... Fucking hell. Yeah, I can pretty much make it to that next corner without having to shift up. Alright. So, let me make the maximum speed just a little teeny bit lower. How about 310 for first gear ratio? I want only a very slight more amount of drift from downshifting to first, very slightly more. It's honestly good already, but if I could get a teeny bit more from it, I think that would be better. Just a slight bit more. 59 still? I might need to adjust it more than that then. But I'll test it anyway. The V-drop's gonna come before the first corner, which will make me mad. If I don't pause it. So I messed up the first corner anyway. I turned in too soon. It's fine. Alright. I think this is good at this point. Yeah, that's a good amount of drift. And the first gear downshift. I'm happy with this. Even if I hit 173 at that straightaway, I have to like brake almost immediately after to make the next corner without killing myself. Basically. Okay, I think we can make an actually serious attempt at this point. To really give the car a good test run. So let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna be taking my mic off my neck for this. Because I want to be comfortable while I'm making a serious lap. So, let's do it.
in 5-minute time. That's actually what's crazy though is the fact that I can very easily beat my copy assist in this part of the power. This is still quite good. I didn't just a bit surprised. Not quite a CN, but still. I have all audio turned on. They would even give me the option to open the bloody script menu to begin with. Is it even gonna let me record anything? I hate it so much. I have to wait for it to it will eventually. It's funny, I thought that this would be faster than Talking Star, but it's not. I mean, then again, 454 is a second verse, and then 454 takes a shit amount of highly skilled driving, and this I did fairly easily. And it's only 6 seconds behind. You know, isn't that bad considering how much I can do. I feel like I drive pretty similar skill to 452, but I only did like 454. Like, it feels like this car's only marginally faster. It's okay, it's not necessarily built to be extremely fast, but I still had a bit higher expectations out of it. Can I please use the fucking let me flip. Legitimate question. Genuine question, why is it always terrible? And game services, it's like 2 whole minutes, final 3 or 30 seconds. All of it. Is it going to come back or no? How is the thing still not open? I thought it was that much. Open the thing. Yeah, open the thing. Open the thing. What? Oh, finally. I can finally take this up. I've been waiting for like 5 minutes. Let me see how it turned out. I might have to edit it the hard way, but I shouldn't have to if I just do it correctly. I basically didn't turn it all. That was the coolest part. It was 0 pounds. Yeah, look at that. Literally like 2 degrees of gas. I mean, I kind of had to crank a little bit at the very end. After I actually but during the corner it was virtually 0. I mean, yes, there was a very slight amount of turning, but I mean, look at that. Look at that. Right on the road pavement. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that, man. Right on the pavement. 0 pounds here. That is poetry. That is gorgeous. That actually makes me smile. That is gorgeous. Put it in epic mode. One thing I noticed though is that the car doesn't seem to freak out as much when I drive over a gutter edge. With Takami's car to like bounce way up in the air, but this car just bounces a little bit, which is one good thing. I mean, you still should try to not hit gutter edges, but at least if you do end up doing it, you will at least die half the time. And actually which is nice. So that's one good thing. But still, doesn't seem as fast as that. I think it's largely in its braking. I think the brakes are not as affected, and so it's after the brakes sooner and such. That I did mess up like lots of even if I didn't still, the fact that the brake was not that good is kind of serious. It would help if, I mean, to be fair, some of these segments are so slow. I would totally do that and say that, yeah, I wasn't really driving that perfect. So, comparing this to 454, which is virtually a perfect lap, which is no mistakes in it, is not exactly fair. I say almost 0. It's not perfect, but nothing really yeah, it's almost perfect. It's very close to being perfect. So comparing this to that is not exactly fair. I've been driving this car with its current setup for only like 34 minutes. I was driving the Takami's car for like 6, 7 months or something. That's when I was driving out all day every day for hours and hours and hours. So yeah, that's I'm just gonna go to sleep. I am tired. car and Takami's car are not completely different per se. They're actually a fairly similar class, to be honest with you. Just because Takami's car suspension is so goddamn well made, it's kind of hard to but I did want the car to feel what we need, so yeah, What did we speak about it? I don't think we did. Oh yeah, this crash really messed me up. This was the biggest reason I only got like 5 minutes. That's probably a big part of it. Pretty big part of why I only got like 5 minutes. Oh yeah, also this. There were a lot of reasons I only got 5 minutes. Like, I just need to have a more consistent, smooth, solid run, and it would probably be around 455 or something, pretty easily, if I could just drive it smoothly and consistently, without making any like really obvious mistakes. I don't think it would be too hard to get 455 with it. I feel like 450 is within its potential range, but I don't know. I would have to give it more testing and yeah, I would have to give it more testing. Anyway, I should have took a preview picture. I didn't take a preview picture. Let me open up the replay again and I'll get a preview picture. This sucks as usual. I don't know what it is, but like only Discord specifically will load videos so fucking slow that it can take like 5 minutes of waiting just to watch like a 10-second 1080p video. Because it just... In case you couldn't already tell, I'm tired. I am tired. I've been streaming for like 3 hours, 40 minutes, and I've only had apparently 15 views this entire time. I've been streaming for this long and I've only had like that many views. By now, on average, I feel like I'd probably have at least 30, maybe 40, and I only have 15. Late night gang, where you at? For real. Seriously, where you at, bro? Guys, where you at? Where's my late night niggas at? Where are my late night niggas? Where's my late night niggas? After tomorrow, I guess it's finally Saturday. I need to start planning out the battle with Kawada in step 2 in more detail. So that way I can actually be like, we're gonna do this and do it, because I only get to do anything with Shish on the weekend, so that means I need to be all business on the weekend. I'll need to be all business. Yeah, boy. I kind of want a shot from the right side though, like a shot like this. Actually, this is good right here. I'll use that. That's good, right? That right there is good. That's good right there. So, my 8800 RPM 11. 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 8800 R
it is done. At least for right now. I'm sure I'll probably work on it more later on, but it's done. So now I can start making Unis Chirino tomorrow. Yay. I can't wait. If no one is here right now, which I don't think anyone is, I'm going off to do deliveries and then go to sleep. Actually, no, I said I was gonna just do them tomorrow. That's right. I'm just gonna go to sleep now. If I don't get a message asking for something within like the next 20-30 seconds, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. You have 30 seconds to change my mind. You have 30 seconds to change my mind. Wii U microphone? What? Oh hell no, not the Wii U microphone. Not the Wii U mic. The Wii U mic. I'm gonna do voice acting for paper on the Wii U microphone. Bro. I love that window sticker so much. It's so cute. It's so pretty. Me and my all-day live streams. 11 hours, 11 hours, 8 hours. It's like I basically streamed the whole work shift. Fucking hell. 4 hours, 7 hours, and then 3 hours, which was on the same day, so Akina 454 day 2.5 hours. My nightly delivery, because I'm bored. Finished it within like 10 minutes. Usually I take around 15 to do a delivery, but I did that one fairly quickly. Alright, I can see no one is here or cares. I will sleep.